Are you sick of struggling to make a change in your life? Do you feel as if you're running around in circles, unable to make lasting change? What if I told you there was one simple concept that could take you from an ordinary person to positioning you to becoming the successful person you've always dreamed of becoming? What's going on, guys? Welcome to Men's Mastermind Group. Last week we talked about the importance of forming positive habits and how they position you for success in the future. This week I want to talk to you about how adapting the right mindset will open a world of possibilities. The goal of Men's Mastermind Group is to help men become the best versions of themselves. But in order to become successful, we have to lay the foundation first. It begins with adapting an infinite mindset that brings possibilities and does not limit your creative expression or your future possibilities. So at first you might be thinking to yourself, I've got a pretty good mindset and it served me well in the past. But the fact of the matter is we live in a very negative world, and our mindset is typically formed as a reflection of our past experience and our perception of the world. So it kind of goes without being said that we could all stand to do a little bit of self-reflecting, looking at our limited beliefs and how we are self-sabotaging our own success. Our thoughts are so powerful, and we often become what we think about the most. The problem is that we tend to dwell on the things that we don't want and the negative aspects of life rather than contemplating the possibilities of the future of what we do want in our life. If we want to become more positive in our outlook and expression, we have to then influence our own mind with that positive influence. Positive influences are all around us. The problem is we tend not to focus on them because they don't have those elements of drama and suspense that we all like, that gets us excited and we tend to focus on. The problem is when we focus on that drama and suspense, we then end up internalizing it and then reflecting it on our own circumstances. And the true reality is that you are an infinite being with infinite possibilities. A couple of real life examples of this are Jim Carrey and Steve Harvey. Jim Carrey's childhood years were surrounded with limited circumstances. While he was still in school battling an undiagnosed mental disability, he had to then get a job to help support his family. He ended up dropping out of school and moving around with his family while they all lived in a vehicle. Shortly after moving out on his own, he moved to LA with big dreams of becoming a successful actor. There he wrote himself a check for $10 million. He would visualize his success, and as we talked about our thoughts becoming things, where we focus our attention, energy flows, and we bring about what we think about the most. What struck me with his story was how much passion and dedication he had. He literally came from nothing, but with his vision of success, he manifested his destiny by his willingness to act upon his vision. Steve Harvey has another amazing inspirational story. In his early years, he was surrounded with limiting beliefs. As a child, he had a severe stuttering problem and he ended up flunking out of high school. In his early adult years, he was going job to job and there was nothing really uniquely special about him until one day he decided to go into a comedy club and he signed up for the next week's entertainment. As he was sitting there watching the acts, they ended up calling his name because one of the acts didn't show up that night. He decided, I'm gonna go up on stage anyways, and it was there he fell in love with acting and comedy. He then quit his job and lived in his car for 3 years while chasing and pursuing his dream. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, that's great for them, but that's not gonna work for me, and it doesn't work like that for everyone, I wanna bring your attention to some groundbreaking medical research done by a cognitive neurosurgeon of the name of Caroline Leaf. Caroline's medical groundbreaking research has changed the way the world views the power of our mind. In the past, our medical scientific community had a fixed mindset on our brain's ability to change over time. With Caroline's research, they are now adapting an infinite mindset where our brain can ever evolve and always change. And it's changing and evolving according to our thoughts. Our thoughts literally change the structure and biology of our brain. Now, we all know that our brain is like the central computing unit of our body. If our brain is in a healthy condition, then our body tends to be in a healthy condition as well. Now, here's the thing. If your brain is functioning properly, then as you go about your day and you come about scenarios where you have to do critical thinking and problem solving, your brain is then wired to see opportunities. It is wired for optimism, and optimism is the characteristic that you need to intuitively see solutions to problems. problems. But if your thoughts are negative and it is negatively impacting your brain, your ability to perceive scenarios which you are overcoming, problems and obstacles, is greatly diminished. So then we have to slowly rebuild the structure of our brain by flooding it with positive, optimistic influences that inspire us to overcome, to become strong, to become powerful and infinite. Mindset is influenced by repetition. We become what we think about most. And because our past experiences have been dictated by the worldview through the lens of negativity, we then have to flood our mind with these more optimistic, positive concepts that will slowly weed out the negative social conditioning we've been built to adapt through time. As you lift the veil of negativity and you begin to view the world through a more positive, optimistic mindset, you might find that the activities that you used to dread because of difficulty become easier. Just remember, you have to give yourself grace. Rome was not built overnight, and it will take time to adopt a new mindset. Don't stress out about it. Stress can be just as detrimental as the negative mindset was to begin with. And as I said before, positive influences are all around us. Go back and check out the story from Jim Carrey or Steve Harvey and look at their life scenarios and how they pulled through their struggles and hard times. Listen to the inspiration that comes through their perseverance of hard times. Also, check out Caroline Leaf. She has a podcast and she has numerous books. Her latest book was Cleaning Out Your Mental Mess, an amazing book for inspiration. With all that being said, if you're still struggling to adapt a positive mindset, make sure you go ahead and smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also hit that bell notification. That way you don't miss any of our upcoming content. And there you have it, the power of your mindset. I hope you got some motivation and inspiration from today's video. And if you haven't yet seen my last video on how to take back control of your life using simple habits, check it out. I'll put a card right here. Also, stay tuned for next week's episode where we discuss the power of nutrition to fuel you towards success.